So it's been a minute since I've done a video like this. These are my favorite videos. I always say that because I'm talking about luxury watches. Watches that are really well made, that sell for really good prices on the secondary market. I have a bunch of watches to talk about, so let's get right into it. The first watch on this list is a gem. I recently found this watch. I did not know about it, and I came across it while searching through Chopard chronographs on eBay. This is a Chopard limited edition that has a beautiful La Manna movement that is completely redone by Chopard. These are in gold, so I haven't seen one that's in stainless steel yet, and they all sell for a very good price considering the movement, the quality of the movement, and the fact that these are in full 18 karat gold. They only come in 3 or 4 different dial colors. They made very few of them. They are limited editions of 250. I believe that is for all colorways. They're 41 millimeters and they are powered by the caliber 1874. So they call it the Chopard caliber 1874 because it's completely redone by Chopard. However, this is a La Manna base and is the La Manna 1874. This is a movement that's used by Omega in the Speedmaster. Universal Geneve has used them. It's been used by many high-end brands. They make a silver dial, black, blue, and there is a slate gray that is gorgeous. It gets gold accents on the dial. It's a dual register chronograph, and they are heavily inspired by 1950s and 60s race car dashboard. It's a classic looking chronograph from Chopard. I would imagine if this came out now, this would be in the LUC line, and these are selling on eBay for prices that are very low for a full gold chronograph. That's 41 millimeters, not a small chronograph either. Starting at around $10,000 and going up to around $15,000. Yes, that's a lot of money, but considering the price of gold these days, considering the movement and the name on the dial, $10,000. If you're able to get it for $10,000, that is an incredible bargain. The same movement in an Omega would cost you around $26,000. Any other brand in a full solid gold case would cost in that region. Today's video is brought to you by my friends over at Strap Habit. Strap Habit offers a large variety of high quality straps for excellent prices. Even those odd sizes like 19 and 21 millimeter. They offer a lifetime guarantee and everything is shipped from the US, usually within 1 day. Strap Habit is owned and run by a watch enthusiast. Just go to their website, check out their blog, which is written by the owner, and you'll see. Check out Strap Habit's website if you're in the market for a strap or you just want to get a fresh look. I'll put a link down in the description. Let's say you really like the movement of the Chopard that I just talked about, but you don't want to spend all that money on gold. Let's say you want something in stainless steel. I always bring up the brand Paul Picot because I think that they make very high-end watches for very good prices, especially on the secondary market. And actually, that's basically the only place that you can buy their watches these days. They make a lot of chronographs, and a lot of their chronographs feature La Manna hand-wound movements. One of them is their Furshire 4031. That's the reference. This is a really good looking chronograph with a dual register layout, very similar to what you get from that Chopard. However, this is in a tonneau shaped case, very classically designed. On places like eBay, these sell for around $1,600. They get a very similar La Manna movement housed in a stainless steel case. And of course, it has the Paul Picot name on the dial, so these don't have a very good resale value. With that being said, they are extremely high quality, really good looking watches, and I always say that Paul Picot offer some of the best values on the secondary market. You need to check out their watches. They make a lot of different styles of watches, like world timers and dive watches that sell for very, very good prices, and all of their movements are highly customized or bespoke to their watches. So if you really want something that's off the beaten path that you'll never see on anybody else's wrist, check out Paul Picot. One of my favorite brands is Angelus. I've spoken about them here on my channel many times. I own one of their diving tourbillons, the U50. I love their watches. Their watches today are very high end. Their vintage watches weren't as high end as they are today. They did go slightly upmarket with their new releases. However, their older watches, which have the exact same logo on the dial, do sell for amazing prices. And one of my favorite watches that I've always had my eye on is their Data Alarm. These are watches that sell between $500 and $1,500 depending on their condition. I would say they're one of the better looking vintage alarm watches that you can get. Yes, they are powered by an A-Shields movement, which was a very popular movement used by many brands during that time. So it's nothing crazy under the hood. However, it's a very reliable, very serviceable alarm movement, and they sound great. There are pocket watch versions. There are smaller versions that are around 35 millimeters. A very good example is the 1011B, which I think is a very good looking watch. They are on the smaller side, but if you want something that's larger, check out the 1511B, which is around 38 millimeters, has more of a 70s style. They use larger cases, so if you want something that's a little bit more modern, definitely check out one of those. Even the pocket watches, they're pretty cool as well. They're around 42 millimeters. Some of them have stands that you could actually use on a desk, so you could leave it on your desk, fold it up, put it in your pocket, take it on vacation with you. It's like carrying around a little alarm clock. Really cool watches that sell for amazing prices on the secondary market. And since it says Angelus on the dial, it looks a lot more expensive than it actually is. Another brand that I bring up here very often on my channel is Alfred Dunhill. Dunhill makes some very high quality watches. They are part of the Richemont brand, and a lot of their watches have very high quality movements. You're going to find JLC movements, you're going to find El Primero movements, high-end ETA movements, and of course movements sourced from the Richemont group. Currently on eBay, there are a number of chronographs that are for sale that feature an El Primero movement, and this is a very quirky watch. The El Primero movement that this one features is a full calendar, so you are getting a day, date, month, and moon phase. It is a pretty complicated movement that they just recently reissued. Those watches go for around $14,000. These do not. They're very distinct looking. You have a very circular case with very odd lugs, or actually lugs that don't exist. The bracelet basically attaches directly to the case. These are interesting looking watches. Some people will not like them. I actually really like them. They're two-tone, and you have a beautiful dial on these. It's very much an El Primero dial. You immediately will recognize this as an El Primero. It's not only from the front, you're going to recognize it from the back, because these do get display case backs. They're very proud of the fact that they use the El Primero movement, so they put a display case back. And the prices on these are amazing. They are 41 millimeter watches. They aren't very small, although they do wear smaller because of the lug situation on these watches, and they cost around $2,500. You can get them less than that depending on the condition. So if you're patient, you can get these for sub $2,000 on eBay. Very interesting watches, again, that you will never see anybody else wearing. Keeping it with Dunhill, I recently came across a beautiful time-only watch from Dunhill that blew my mind. This is the CH062. It is an 18-karat gold watch. So this is a full gold watch with a guilloche dial, and it gets a JLC movement. So you're talking about a solid gold JLC powered Dunhill watch with a beautiful textured guilloche dial, and it gets a display case back. These are very rare watches. I've seen these in stainless steel. They sell for around $2,000 to $3,000 in full gold. The one that's on eBay right now is selling for $6,900. I've been so tempted by this watch because it's such an amazing package for that price. Yes, it's on the more expensive side, but for a solid gold watch in 38 millimeters with a display case back and a JLC movement, that's really not all that bad. And you get a small seconds, which I absolutely love. Really good looking watch for $6,900. Next is another one of those brands that I think offers incredible value on the secondary market. It is Bulgari. The watch that I'm talking about is the Diagonal. Specifically, I am talking about their diving GMT. This is powered by a Valjoux 7750 that is modified to have two pushers, as it would if it were a chronograph. However, those pushers control the local hour hand. So that hour hand goes back and forth with those pushers. This is something that Dupuis Duprat did a long time ago, and this is one of the brands that utilized it. These are stainless steel integrated bracelet watches with really technical dials, really technical cases, and they get 200 meters of water resistance. They're chronometer certified, and you're getting a true GMT. It's not a true GMT movement, but the functionality works like a true GMT. So that is pretty awesome, especially considering that these sell between $1,500 and $3,000 depending on the condition. This looks like a way more expensive watch. Originally, these were pretty expensive. If Bulgari came out with this today, they would charge $10,000 for this easily. However, since these are a neo vintage watch and they aren't incredibly in demand, they sell for great prices. And finally, last watch on this list is another watch that I have always been tempted by. It's a brand that I absolutely love. It's Porsche Design, the Porsche Design 1919. They make a lot of different versions of this watch. They make it in a chronograph, they make a GMT, and they make a time only. I believe they also make a world timer. All of them sell for really good prices. It has these lugs that are sort of squared off and hollow. It has an integrated bracelet because this is technically an integrated bracelet, and it also has a very interesting bracelet, which makes this look very modern. It's overall a very modern design, very clean design, and it's also very modern. There's no polishing on this because it's, of course, a Porsche design, but these are powered by a reliable Sellita movement. I believe these are Sellita SW300s, and they are in titanium. These sell for around $1,000 going up to around $3,000 depending on the version that you are looking at. But there have been many that have sold on eBay for such good prices, and they sell all the time. I have a saved search like I do with almost all of the watches on this list, or every watch on this list, that I monitor on a regular basis, and I highly recommend these if you want something that's very unique, very high quality, from a brand like Porsche Design, which make amazing watches, and it definitely has that Porsche Design look. 42 millimeters, I like the GMT the best. I think it's the best looking out of the bunch, but the time only is also really nice. The chronograph isn't as nice in my opinion, just because of the case shape and the way it looks. However, they are also the most expensive out of the bunch. They made these in gold as well. Those are very expensive because you have a very big and heavy case. That's really it, guys. Tell me what you think of my selection for this video. I know I haven't made one of these videos in a little while. I have lots of watches to talk about in videos like this, so I will definitely make more in the future, and I will make them more often because I really love talking about these types of watches. There are so many bargains out there, and it's just really fun to talk about them. And if it helps somebody along their journey buying something that's really well made for a very good price, hey, that makes me feel good. So tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. If you have any suggestions also, please add those down in the comments below. I love to hear suggestions, and maybe I'll include it in a future video. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Also, I made a book with my wife. We made a children's book. I'll add a link to that book down in the description. If you are interested in the book, it definitely supports the channel, so I very much appreciate that, of course. Anyway, thank you guys for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.